I need to feel your energy today from start to finish.
Come on, let's go.
Let's crank this thing up. You get real ferocious, I'm trying to tell you.
Turn me up all day.
From the locker room to the broadcast booth, breaking news and the truth behind every take from a real NFL insider and television analyst.
Now get ready for the NFL show where the conversation gets real and the fans get a voice. It's time for the Lake Lewis Jr. Show here on ESPN Radio.
And that's football.
Welcome, everyone, to the Lake Lewis Jr. Show. Appreciate you joining, as always, and it's Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for us to bring in the biggest and the brightest and the best fans for the burgundy and gold, and also NFL fans across the board. If you want to join this program, all you have to do is email me at thelakeLewisJrShow@gmail.com. We're streaming on ESPNRichmond.com, so we've got a lot of good stuff going on. And today, with the folks that we have in here, they're going to be excited because we're really going to keep it Commanders oriented today. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And before we really get going here, I do want to pass along my condolences to the family of Sonny Jurgensen.
Yes.
One of the longtime legends and greats for this great franchise. And he was one of the greats for this team. And, you know, a couple years ago, I had a friendly debate with some friends, and it was, you know, where do you put him as far as the quarterbacks that played for the burgundy and gold? And we can talk about that. You know, we want to remember him in a positive way and all the great things he did on the field. So we're gonna ask each and one of you as far as that. And then when we get out of that, we're gonna also talk about several things. Bobby Wagner, Walter Payton Man of the Year award. That was a big time award for him. He does a lot in the DC area as well as Seattle. You know, so kudos to him. That's a big time award. And then we're also going to talk about, you guys are going to really like this one. We're going to talk about the new look. I don't want to say logo just yet, but it's out there, and I want to get your take on it, you know, because I saw some stars on it, and that kind of had me feeling a little way. So what's up, everybody? How you doing?
What's happening?
What's up, Lake? What's going on, Lake?
Happy
Appreciate
Friday.
everybody.
Going on, man?
All right. So yeah, so let's talk about Sonny. You know, naturally it was a sad day to hear his passing, but we're going to remember him for the positives. You know, the fact that he was one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best players that came to Washington. And, you know, I want to get your thoughts on where would you put Sonny Jurgensen as far as the greats, you know, and I think you're going to have to look at modern history as far as maybe Joe Theismann, as far as, you know, Doug Williams, Mark Rippon, but those guys didn't have the careers in the burgundy and gold that Sonny had. And Sonny, naturally, some of you might remember, Sonny came from the Eagles, you know, so not sure you can even really claim him. I'm sure there's going to be some Eagles fans that claim him as well.
Right.
So let's talk about that. And I want to start with Rev, because I know Rev, and then we're going to go with Miss Sheila, because I know they remember. So let's talk about Sonny, Rev. What's your thoughts?
My heart is really heavy. I as a fan, I'm truly in mourning for him. You know, sometimes we see this and it don't quite, but Sonny was my day one. That was my quarterback when I truly became a Redskin fan. So for me, Sonny is number one. I truly give Doug his accolades as far as the first, you know, black quarterback to win a Super Bowl and that aspect. But back and so many of the youngsters, and don't want to play the age game, but when we were truly that dynasty, I guess, or had that level of recognition, there wasn't anybody that didn't know Sonny Jurgensen and his behind the back passes and these type of thing, like, you know, and he was not your prototypical quarterback. If you look at Sonny looked the same way when he was playing as he did when he was retired, was with that look, you know, that little gut and everything. And it looked like your grandfather running around out there playing football. But Sonny is he's my day one. And it's like I don't know how to put it. It's just like there's a piece missing now within all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
thought of the Redskins and you immediately thought of Sonny Jurgensen. Even though he may have came from the Eagles, I don't have that knowledge. But, and then again, that's the history. But he truly was the face of Washington doing his time. So
Okay.
I'm
Good
like the
stuff.
most of us. RIP, big guy.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go with Miss Sheila. What's your thoughts on Sonny?
Well, I was around 16 years old when I probably first saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go to a game. So I didn't get to see a lot of him. But he was just, like Rev said, this little chunky looking man. But I loved him because he had an arm on him. He could throw that ball, and he was accurate. So I remember that. I'm just like learning football right then because I just come out of high school. I mean, I was in high school at the same time, between following him and Kilmer. It's so funny because I just looked up his age a couple of weeks ago because I was wondering if he was still here because I hadn't heard nothing from him about him. So I looked it up and I said, oh my God, he's still here. And Billy Kilmer is too. But I was like, wow. So, I remember him on radio. So I remember that when he was doing the radio with Frank Herzog, I think, at the time. Yep. So, so that's about it for me. I was kind of sad to see him go, but then again, you got to think about it. We all got to go, and he got to live a long life, and he was blessed to live that long. So, kudos to him. We had some good people on the Redskins team. So I was glad that I got to see that as pretty much a child almost.
Okay. All right. Very good stuff. Good stuff. And, I can say this before we keep going here, and we'll try to get everybody to get in here. I'm a lot younger, so I didn't really see him play, but I remember just, the radio broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys were like me, a lot of times, unless it was Madden and Summerall calling it on television, sometimes you turn the TV down if it was like a B or C list crew because you wanted to hear Frank and Sonny, calling it up. Absolutely. That 3-man crew was incredible. And Sam Huff as well. So yeah. So, we used to listen to that on the radio at all times in the house, not in the car, in the house. You were listening to the radio. So so definitely. So let's keep it going. Let's go with let's go with Josh, and then after Josh, we'll go with Gerard. I'm gonna try to get, no offense, but I'm trying to get some of the older heads on, to speak it up a little bit. So let's talk Josh. What you think, Josh?
I'm with you because I was a little bit younger, so I was really little when he played. He was my dad's guy, and but I mean, we did the same thing as you did. Like we turned, if it was a B or C crew, we turned it off and turned the radio on for sure to listen to him. So I grew up listening to him on the radio. That was in hearing the stories. He's on the Mount Rushmore for Redskins.
Yeah, I think he has to be.
Yeah. I mean, he is. He put quarterback on the map for the team, and that's all I gotta say. I mean, he was a pillar of the community until he died.
Right.
He bled burgundy and gold, and he loved the community. And that's how I remember that guy. He was and he was a very sweet man. I got to meet him once when I was very young, and he's a very sweet guy.
Yeah. Always, I remember seeing him in the locker room after the games. He was always in there, and he always had that cigar. He was just sitting there. And I think this was up till maybe, don't quote me on this, but I'd want to say within the last 6 years, and then you stop seeing them. So you understand that this is life. This is what happens. And I agree with Miss Sheila. He had a long, profitable, just life. And when you leave here, it's what people say about you as opposed to what they don't. And all I've heard today is just how great of a guy this guy was. You know what I mean? So, once again, condolences to his family. So let's keep it going. What about Gerard? What you think, Mr. Gerard?
All right. Yes, same here with me. I know him from the radio. He made the radio fun. It was fun to listen to games when he was doing it, because when I first started watching, I come along in the Joe Theismann area. era and stuff. So I had never seen him play the game, but I always heard his name. He's always been around the team my whole life and everything. So I just sent out love to his family, and I just thank him for his service and what he gave the Washington Redskins nation. He gave us his all. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. All right, Willis, what's going on?
Hey, my friend. How's everybody doing?
Good to see you.
Good.
I of course, like everybody, saw the news this morning when I woke up, and my heart kind of sunk a little bit, just because he's part of this team and just part of my entire life, and to see him go, quite honestly, one of the first thoughts I had was somebody ought to light up a stogie and smoke it and throw over the edge of a yacht, on his behalf, like he wasn't a pour one out for him guy. He was a cigar guy, and I have to feel a little guilty because my first picture that I have of me in any kind of Redskins gear was actually a Billy Kilmer shirt. But anyway, he put up with a lot of losing in the beginning part of his time here in Washington, and he was instrumental in getting things turned around with when Allen came in, and he's just done so much for this organization as a player, as a representative, as a broadcaster, and he lived 91 glorious years. You got to say the man won in life. He's going to be deeply missed, but I think everybody here will agree that he was forever a Washingtonian. I think to sum it up, it's always sunny in Washington.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Like,
he's sometimes linked with Billy Kilmer because we all know, as far as the run that they had, and especially that 72 team.
That's it.
My brother-in-law and some older relatives have told me, if Sonny plays in that Super Bowl, they easily beat that undefeated Miami team. They almost beat them without him. So it just goes to show you the history of where they were with him as their quarterback.
He only had 4 games in that year.
Yeah, so let's
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0 before he broke his leg. So let's keep it going with Mike B. What you think, Mike?
What's happening, family?
What's going on?
Now I know how Young Savage feels, because I never saw. I'm listening. I never saw the guy. He took his last snap. I wasn't thought, man. I wasn't here. So,
look at Brad trying to knock some years off me.
Right.
But I've never heard anything negative about him, even through the other owner. I'm about to say his name. I'm not. The other owner, when a whole lot of those guys from the past got caught up in stuff, I never heard anything bad about Sonny, man. So yeah, he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore. So what? That leaves 3 more. I guess we could talk about that one day. Who's gonna take those spots, man?
Well,
he's definitely got one spot.
Well, I will say this. In the past on my show, I've actually done a Mount Rushmore. I've done it for almost every team, but I did it for Washington.
Okay.
And Sonny wasn't on my Mount Rushmore.
Oh.
And the reason for that, no offense to obviously, was because the people on my Mount Rushmore were drafted, developed, and played the entirety of their career pretty much as Redskins at the time. And so I had Darryl Green on there naturally. Now I'm going brain dead. I had Chris Handberger, and a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Chris Handberger was like a 7-8 time All Pro, linebacker. So had him on there, and then someone was like, "Well, you had to have Art Monk on there," and I'm like, "Actually, I didn't. I had Charlie Taylor over Art Monk."
Right.
You back there.
Yeah, man, and I kind of went back, and then I had Sammy Ball in there because absolutely he kind of ushered it all in. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that, not to stray, but just to give you a little, I did my homework on that one. So yeah, man. And I didn't have Riggins on there because Riggins was a Jet before he became, a Redskin. So
Right.
so let's keep it rolling. Let's go with we're gonna go in this order. We're gonna go Big Bud. We're gonna go Shauno, and then the final two that I did this intentionally is I have Brad. You're going to be last, Brad, because you're the youngest.
I know.
But I have Oscar second to last because I want to find out from Oscar when he's up, are they even talking about this over in Turkey? Okay. All right. So let's go with Big Bud now. What's going on, my friend?
Ain't too much. How you doing, sir?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I kind of agree with Rev. I kind of grew up watching Sonny and Billy, and because I was left-handed, between Ken Stabler and Sonny, they were my heroes.
I'm left-handed as well.
Okay, right on.
All right.
So I didn't really listen to the radio that much growing up. Once I got married and moved to Atlanta, and we didn't see the Skins down there. That's when I got used to Herzog and Sonny, and we even got we frequented a little bar in East Atlanta, and we got him to cut the TV on, but cut the volume down and let us listen to the radio, bro. Nice. And we did that all the time, and it was refreshing to kind of imagine as we're winning and the game is going on. Sonny and Frank are having a double and they are enjoying themselves. You know what I'm saying? It was lovely to hear, bro. He's gonna be missed, and he's definitely in Mount Rushmore top 3 for sure.
Okay. Good stuff.
Love that dude, man.
Good stuff. And see, I think that's another thing that we can talk about as far as Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks for this team. He might be numero uno. I mean, you could clearly make that argument. Somebody's going to say Kirk Cousins is on that list. I'm telling you. Listen. I think he had 4,000 yard seasons here.
That's what I mean. Yes.
You can't take that from them. They didn't win, but so yeah, we're not going to do that today. Not today, because I'm sure a lot of people ready to pull their trash can over real quick. But yeah, so let's go with Shauno. What's going on, Shauno?
How y'all doing?
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, definitely. Happy Fan Day, Friday Fan Day. So I have a top 3. He was quarterback when I was born, so I didn't really see much footage. I saw footage, but not live footage. He still today holds the most touchdowns in a season for Washington. So that says a lot back in those days because there was less games and it really wasn't a throwing or passing league like it is now. So you got to give him some credit for that. I'm a little baffled or curious to know why it took so long for Washington to retire his number. You have any insight on that?
You already know the answer to that.
The ownership? Okay.
The person that was at the top at the time didn't know what to do.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's what that was.
Another thing, the fact that he played so long for us that he almost wore every single jersey type that we have.
Wow.
Good point. I see you doing your homework.
Okay.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Because I'm going to borrow that on my show.
That's fine. That's fine.
Handle your business.
I'll reference you, Sean.
That'll be nice. I appreciate
that. Did that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what's up.
One more thing. Yes, I noticed that a current quarterback that reminds me of him is body-wise is Baker Mayfield. He seems to have a little stouty shape about him.
Yeah.
He's a baller, though. I like him.
Yeah. I think Sonny might have been a little taller than Baker.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So not by much, but I think he definitely was taller. So yeah, so let's keep it rolling. Let's go with Ellison here.
What's up, man? What's good, Lake?
What's going on? Good to see
you. First of all, condolences to Sonny and his family for sure. I wasn't born obviously when he played, but from as a kid learning all the way up until now, learning about the franchise from its existence, from the start all the way up until now, man, you learn about the greats, and he was definitely one of the greats for sure. For me, he's personally the best quarterback in franchise history. One of the top 3 players for me, along with Charlie Taylor and Jerry Smith. So he'll definitely be missed. Great player, probably even better person. Great on the radio. I remember when I was a little kid, and my uncles who got me hooked on the team, they would watch the game every Sunday, obviously, but they would not watch. They would not have the sound on. They would listen to the radio and try to sync it up with the game. So I definitely remember those days. And listen to him and Frank Herzog and Doc Walker on the sideline and all that stuff, man. So condolences to his family for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's other franchises around the league. I'm sure there are, but I mean, maybe you can think of Pittsburgh. I think Myron Cope was the guy that was big time radio voice for them for a long time. But I don't know if there are too many franchises where people, when they had this radio crew here with Sonny being part of it, would literally turn the TV down. I mean,
Right.
normally radio is a distraction. Sorry about that. Yeah, but you think about sometimes it is, and you got to get it. You got to have a signal and those things. But diehard at the time, Redskins fans were like, they'll listen through the static before they even watch the sound over the television. That's how good that broadcast crew was. That radio crew was for Washington.
I actually, even today, I won't listen to the sound of the TV. I'll listen to Bram and London Fletcher and the radio broadcast while the game is on. So
Okay.
I still carry that today.
Okay.
I'll be sure to let Bram know that on Tuesday.
For sure.
Sometimes they wonder about that. So yeah, London's my dude
sure.
too.
Yeah.
London's always teasing me about my beard, so now I'm almost afraid to show my face. So yeah, anyway, let's go with Oscar now. So Oscar, you're over there in Turkey, and first and foremost, we always appreciate you taking time to stay up late, even though it's Friday. I mean, it's either the club or it's us, and you pick us, so we like that.
Always, man. My pleasure. I was telling the guys before you started recording that I got tennis, but I canceled it for tomorrow. It's all right. It's great to be here.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, my condolences go to the Jurgensen family, obviously, and I grew up watching the Hogs. When I became a Redskins fan, it was late 80s, early 90s. So unfortunately, and obviously I wasn't able to watch him, but watching the highlights of Jorgensen was amazing. And the what do you call the thing they had with Billy Kilmer? I mean, it's
the over the hill gang. Was that?
Yeah.
No, Billy or Sonny thing. Billy or Sonny.
Yeah. It was Billy or Sonny. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously they're in a competition, but they embraced each other in such a peaceful, down to earth mood. That was awesome. That says a lot about their character, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's always going to stand as a big question mark on my mind. What could happen if Vince Lombardi and Sonny Jurgensen could work more than
Right.
1 year?
Yeah,
Right.
man.
That's a question I'll keep in mind, and I mean
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
It's funny, but Sonny Jurgensen is going to be in a man cave in Istanbul forever.
Nice, brother. Nice. I like that. That's a good one, man. You think about that with Vince and Sonny, and the fact that unfortunately Vince's life, Lombardi's life was cut short, with cancer and everything, and then Sonny, getting injured when they had to run to get to the Super Bowl with pretty much Lombardi's team. You can kind of say a lot of those pieces were Lombardi's that George Allen, I guess, inherited, and then he brought his mix to it too. So. Yeah, man, that's me reading history books, not seeing them. So I just want y'all to know that. Some of y'all got me. But somebody that we all have, and he's the last person that's left on here, is the young guy, Brad Savage. His name just
Young
fits.
Gun.
It just fits. It really does, man.
Young Gun.
It's an honor to be last with this group, I hope the family's doing well. Of course, I growing up in North Carolina and not even being thought of while he was playing, I've never seen Sonny or heard Sonny over the radio. But when I decided, I've been a fan since I was 5, but when I got older, I'm like, no, I'm gonna take this seriously. I went back and looked at some of the past players. Like I watched all of the Super Bowl of the 80s. It was on YouTube. So I watched that game in full, So, and I looked back, I saw Sammy Ball and I saw Sonny. And what stood out to me with Sonny was the behind the back pass. And it was like, and it came up when Mahomes did it a couple of years ago, and it felt good to be like, he wasn't the first one,
That part.
So
And I'm
that
glad
gave
they
me
did that
gave me some
too.
kudos around
Yeah.
to be like, no, look it up. He wasn't first. I look like a genius,
That's right.
So that's, as from a young guy, that's like what stood out to me the most for him,
Good
and
stuff.
and number 9 because you don't see 9 being worn by really by football players much at all. So that was like, I wonder why he picked 9. I don't know, but it always stood out to me too.
Somebody needs to ask JJ McCarthy that. I'm dead serious. Like,
Right.
could there be some kind of correlation? Maybe his father or someone knew who that was. There has to be something, because you're right. A lot of people
Right.
don't wear that. I'm going to tell you who I saw as a younger guy, as a kid, that from the clips and stuff. And I have game tapes and footage of games going back to, seriously, I have a reel that was sent to me from a fan. This black and white Sammy Ball. They were playing the Steelers, and that was like 1948 or something like that. So I look at all these things and just try to be a historian. Sonny reminded me a lot of a guy, like I said, when I was a kid, I watched a lot, and that was Dan Fouts. And
Yeah.
the
Okay.
kind of burly guys,
That's the body type. Yeah.
yeah, but they threw the ball all over the field. I mean, there wasn't a throw that he couldn't make,
That's right.
And and I'm sure Dan Fouts, if someone were to ask him who's someone that he probably, liked and emulated a little bit, he might say Sonny Jurgensen, because that was like 10 years before him. I would venture to say that, because you don't see too many big quarterbacks like that, like, that just have more of that girth, that could throw the football like that. So let's keep this thing moving along. This is good. So now let's try to shorten the answers for this one so we can get into the next part, because I still want to cover 2 more things. But the next thing is Bobby Wagner. B-Wags gets into just another immortal category. The guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of 3 guys to have 2,000 tackles over his career. And this year picks up another piece of hardware. And I think he's done it before, but he gets another Walter Payton Man of the Year award. And, I wanted to talk about that, because these are the things that I feel like as a journalist, we are supposed to talk about, as opposed to, is he getting older, long in the tooth? Is he not covering guys? All that good stuff. Well, these are the things that I think show you a player's character. This shows you what a person is about when he wants to give back to his community. And if you listen to his speech last night, he referenced his parents. He referenced his father. He made sure he did do that, because sometimes, that's a stereotype that we don't have. And I tell people all the time, I knew all my friends' fathers. Every last one of them still do. And they knew mine. So, but to see him talk about his mom, of my mom not being here, nor my father anymore, that got me. And it means a lot to see that kind of stuff. So I did want to, give him his flowers. And I wanted you guys to give him his flowers as well, because, a lot of times during this season, it was a little tough, some of the conversation when it came to Bobby. But this is something that is more fitting. So just real quick, maybe in 15 seconds or so we can move on. Each person can make a comment if they want. So Rev, what you think?
Like you said, being really correct. The words of Dr. King comes to mind, about judging a man about the content of his character. NFL and football isn't for long, but you look at what he stands for outside the game. He makes the game don't make him. And there's the entrepreneurship. You see there's many layers. So that's what I would say, a man of many layers.
Okay, good stuff. All right, Miss Sheila.
Just very proud of what he said, especially talk about his dad first. I'm glad he went and put his dad first. So he saved his mom for last. And then how he said that when we look at him, we see his mother, because she's in the flesh. He's in the flesh, but her spirit is in him. So I thought that he gave her a wonderful honor of what she did for him in order for him to make it in the NFL. And so I was just proud to hear him. He looks very good up there. And I was glad to say, hey, we got a Redskin up there saying that, or we're a commander.
Yeah, because we didn't have anybody else up there. I mean, so, well, I mean, Tress did go to the Pro Bowl, I mean, but,
I know.
but again, it was missing. The colors were missing up there this year. So it was good to see Bobby get that.
Right.
All right. So let's go with, we're going to keep it going this way. Let's go with Gerard. What you think, Gerard?
Well deserved on the field and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
He put in his time. I'm glad to see him get that proper recognition.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Josh.
I live and die by the golden rule. It seems like he does too. End of story. Well deserved.
Wow.
All right. Good stuff. That's powerful, man. That's Josh, my dude, man. That's Josh writes me sometimes, and just I always try to put out positive stuff, and I always appreciate the messages you send, man. I definitely appreciate that. All right, so let's go with Mike B.
What's happening? I mean, high character, true professional. You need guys like that. Even, we got shows where we were talking about coverage and all of that. But what grabbed me was when what's the kid name we drafted? Chase Young.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing. He made a comment of not having guys in the locker room who could show, because you think he knows what to do. He's a kid. He doesn't know what it means to be a professional and put the work in, put the grind in, what you're supposed to do. And it's like, you need guys like that even when you draft somebody high, because they don't know. They've never been in the league before. So it's just always good to have guys like that. And I think he said he was shocked. I wasn't shocked.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, and then sometimes the league likes to promote younger people. They do. I mean and it makes sense. It's marketing. But for him, a 14-year vet and a guy that's been there, done that, has a Super Bowl, one of the greatest middle linebackers of all time, for him to get something later on, it still goes to show you the impact that this guy has and how he's using his platform in the right way. So you can't help but respect that. All right, so let's keep going. Let's go with Willis here.
Yeah, I don't know how this guy sleeps, because I mean, he full-time professional football player. He was working on his master's. He does all his volunteer work. I mean, he gives and gives and gives up from himself, and
he's a father too.
That deserves an award like that,
Yeah.
Like he's just given everything. And my first thought, I had forgotten that he actually already won before, but my first thought was like, oh yeah, he's definitely not retiring now. He wants to play with his bling on his jersey, so hopefully he plays with us. That'd be nice.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Big Bud.
Bobby is one of those guys you don't let get out the building. Now that he's got his degrees and he's focusing on life after football, we need to figure out a way that we can still have him around, man. Find him a job. Just don't let him out the building. You need him.
I totally agree. And I've said this before. People, sometimes we spend too much time talking about what he can't do anymore as opposed to what he still does well. And it's a lot of things that he does well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Better than the guys beside him.
That's right.
We got to figure that part out too, but we'll talk about that for another day. So let's go Oscar here. What you think, Oscar?
Yeah, like I'm always proud of the athletes, who do good for the community and help people in need. Not only the Walter Payton Man of the Year award winners, but yeah, Bobby was one of them, and well deserved. We're proud of him.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Shauno.
Yeah, so to keep it short and sweet, it says a lot for someone to be able to get that award in two different communities.
Wow. I mean, that's a very good point. Just goes to show you that he didn't come to Washington and just like, I'm just going to think about football, down the stretch. He came in, he was going to Howard, which is in D.C., and he really gave back. And we should talk about that in the locker room all the time. I mean, not used to, we still do. That was a big deal to him. And it was a big deal to him to go, he went to, Utah, that's where he went, undergrad or whatever. And so for him to go to a historically Black college, that's revered as far as Howard is, that was a big deal to him. And it was almost like it helped him when he did go into the community in D.C. to practice what he preaches. So, that was good. That was good stuff. All right, so let's go with Ellison, and then we'll wrap up this part with Brad. Okay, so what's up, Ellison?
It's great award, great accomplishment for an even greater person, man. So well deserved for him, for sure.
Good stuff. All right, Brad.
Is the reason I hope he plays his last snap with us. I'm about ready to be like, no, Seattle, we get a piece of him too. And so I hope he stays as long as I hope they re-sign him, basically. And he stays until he's done playing here. I hope. We'll see.
There's no reason for anyone to think that he won't be re-signed here, and the reason for that is you have a new defensive coordinator who's going to need a quarterback on that defense. And if they draft a kid that I'm kind of thinking might be there, Caleb Downs, you would have another really smart guy who could really be that guy that could learn from Bobby to like take. I know two different positions, but I just mean as far as the cerebral approach on the field and be a guy that ultimately could wear that green dot. So, all right. So final thing here, and we got about 16 minutes. Okay. So we still got a little bit of time to relax and have some fun. So,
90 seconds.
I wanted to talk about this logo that's on letterhead and all that good stuff. I got it. And I know my baby was like, babe, look at this. What you think? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, that's different, but you saw the spears, okay? But off on them spears was 2 stars, and I know that's like federal government and all that kind of stuff. I get it. What do you guys think is the question? So we're gonna go back how we started, okay? So we're gonna go to other order now. Let's go with Brad first, okay?
You know what? The background that Shano has. That's my favorite throwback jersey, period.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. So
how do you think it would look on
that helmet too? If we can,
But how do you think that would look on the helmet? Like if you had the W with the crest around it and the spears coming off, do you think that would fly?
No, I think you take for that helmet. I think you take the W off and figure out a look for it. But I mean, if we can make it look like the throwback helmet that Shano has on his, then I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But even if you take the feather off and it just be a spear, I still think that looks good. But that's my hope.
Before we keep this going, y'all do know I'm very calculated about the stuff we talk about, right?
I'm listening.
Shano kind of jumped on it earlier. Who wore that spear on their helmet? And he's getting a lot of love today, rightfully so. And that's going to warm up that conversation just a tad. You look, they're going back to the uniform that I think we all like, the best one that they've worn since they become the Commanders, and it was the throwback. It was the one that they won and had in their heyday. So maybe you reach back a little bit further. You're not going to change that uniform. Keep that uniform now, but maybe you do put the spear on that helmet. And you kind of tying it all together. Yeah, just saying, just throwing it out there. All right. So let's go, Ellison. What you think?
I mean, if you've just been paying attention the past year and a half, they've been interweaving and, putting stuff in there, give you little hints and stuff. I saw what Darryl Green was doing some prior to the game, and he had a spear in his hand during the game, before the game, prior to the game. So if you pay attention, they're trying to bring back some of the old workers of the franchise, which is great by me. That's the jerseys and helmets and stuff that I grew up on. So it's slowly coming together. As long as and I agree with Savage. What Shano has in the background, I love all that. And I hope that they kind of bring that back as well. As long as Steve Spurrier and Danny Werfel aren't there, I'm
oh no,
that was a travesty. Yeah, you should have had a Gator on his helmet because he had a bunch of them. He had a bunch of Gators on that team. What was it?
Jaquez
Green. Jaquez Green and
Yeah.
Ike Hill. Ike's my dude though, but so yeah. So let's keep it going. Let's go, Oscar. What you think?
I actually like the throwback spear helmet, like the new helmet design with the stars. Don't get me wrong, Rev. My dad was an admiral too. It looks too militarial to me, I like the old one with the spear only. I mean, my favorite one. You know my favorite one.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they put a star in the spear. I don't know. Just if you really want, if you're hell bent on putting a star on something. I mean, you can't look. The problem with that star is
It belongs in
your
Dallas.
rival,
Exactly.
right,
Yeah,
Right.
has that
I don't
star,
want
and
to
I don't
start.
like it. I'm
Absolutely.
just
And they,
saying.
Exactly.
When I saw it, the first two things that jumped out to me wasn't the Spears, it was the stars, because I literally was, oh, okay, all right. So let's go, Sean. Oh, you got it up there. So what you think?
Yeah, of course. I
thanks,
love that logo. But we touched on this a little bit in the summer. I don't care if we wear polka dots. I just want some wins.
Hey, listen, that is fair, man. That is fair, and that's why I keep telling people. Can we get rid of and this whole chatter and half a fan base fighting over the name Redskins? It's not coming back. And
So,
like I said before, nobody was talking Redskins last year when they were running to the NFC Championship game. It was almost like I saw more Commanders gear and talk about that. And that goes back to what you're saying, Shano. If you win, it don't matter what your name is. You just win some games. You still got the colors. You still embracing the history. You got an owner that's doing everything he's possibly capable of to bring back the old days, with the exception of that name. So can't be mad at him. Can't be mad at him. Got a new stadium coming too. So like I've been telling everybody, if you got a problem with it, let's just give everything back up. We go back to Northwest Stadium. We go back to the old, uniform. I mean, the whole nine. We'll just do the old stuff and still get some L's because they were losing some games. Okay, when Snyder was there, did they ever win? I mean, they won 3 years in the playoffs. Come on, man. And then they got bounced in those playoffs immediately. So come on, man. Okay. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox there. All right. So let's go, Mike B.
Yeah, I'm with you. The star stuff, I'm not for it, but it's product on the field because if they win a Super Bowl wearing that helmet, I'm gonna buy the gear, man. Point blank period. Point blank period.
KD said
I'll
it
be,
was
like
MVP.
said, like me.
That's
yeah,
what we
I'll,
said, man. You remember over the summer we said they could be called the cupcakes. I guarantee you, if they win, it's going to be some cupcake jerseys all over town.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
but yeah, the one in the background there, I like that,
It's
but
clean.
I mean the W that just shows you I bought a lot of W stuff,
Right.
and
I gotta
Oh,
have a
it's
not a
worn
W.
on me for
Football
sure.
team.
W is
Yeah.
what it's about.
I
I'm
love it.
not I'm still not a big fan, but guess what? My team, man, I'm rocking it, man. I'm repping. I'm KD all day. I'm repping my squad, man. I'm repping my
Nice.
squad.
That's what we say, man. All day, and it was tragic what happened, and the whole nine, and how it had to go away. And I'll say it, until somebody makes me think otherwise. If Josh Harris was the owner,
Yes.
that name would still be intact. And I
Right.
mean
Yep.
that, not that
Agree.
he can go back to it. He can't.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, had he been the owner
Right.
for those 30 years, there would have been no issue. And the reason why it was a bigger issue, it was because of the person who was the owner.
Yep.
You did this to them. So anyway, all right. So let's go with Willis here.
Actually, I think the one that Shano has in the background is a little too Merlot for me. I like the color of the helmet that we have now, but if we could put the spear on it, like put the color of the helmet that we have and then the spear on it, I think that would be really sharp. Yeah, but I mean, again, could be butterflies and unicorns, and I'd buy the jersey too.
So you know what I noticed with Willis, he referenced the cigars. He referenced Merlot, so I'm sure. Yeah, okay. I already know. He's probably sitting next to the wine cellar. All right, so let's go with Big Bud here. What you think, man?
I like the fact that they go back in the past and grab some things to bring up to kind of incorporate to what's going on now. Definitely don't like the stars. The spirit thing, I'm digging that. I wish they would come up with a couple of creative ways to kind of get that incorporated. That's going to look better on the helmet than anything else. But I agree with Shano. It could be two pit bulls fighting. I'm gonna wear that jersey proud.
I would buy that now.
That's what's up, man. All right. Rev.
I mean, no need to be long or drawn out. It's like everyone else is saying, I like the spirit. I'm not feeling anything. I mean, got enough politics. We can lose the stars. I really don't
That's politics.
need that aspect to know where we're from. You know by the colors,
Right.
and that's been since history. You know by the colors.
Right.
So no, I don't know what Shano has going on though, but this changing of that background and
every
things
week
that brother be finding
every week, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's that guy.
He gonna get a Boston Braves thing up there sooner or later. It's coming. I already know it.
I got that one too. Yeah.
All right. So let's keep it going. We got 3 left here before we get ready to wrap up. So let's go with Gerard.
Well, for me, I love the W. I'm all about the W.
I like it. I do. I really do.
The W is where's it at for me. I have a lot of Commanders gear. I'm just a Washington football fan. They can call it, like you said, the cupcakes. This is where I'm at. And this is across the board. I'm all about the organization bringing consistency. Come with a logo and let's get it. I'm tired of going back and forth. The Washington football team, the Redskins, now we the Commanders. Look, let's get stabilized. We got us a true quarterback, franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's stabilize this. I love the history. We talked about Sonny earlier. I love the history that's going to be embedded in all of us. But the world is all about change. Years ago, you would never have Lake Lewis doing this YouTube with this fan show if there was not change, technology, stuff like that. So you got to adapt and grow with the times. So that's where I'm at. I love the W. Let's get this logo. Let's solidify it and build our team and let's go.
Okay.
That's where
I like
I'm at.
it. I've said this all along. I was one of the ones in the media that was saying they should have just stayed the Washington football team.
Yeah.
And then you could have had the W still. Nothing would have changed, but
nothing would have changed.
I think people would have identified with that more so than another nickname,
Right.
So that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with Miss Sheila, and then we're gonna wrap it up with my man Josh. Okay, so Miss Sheila, what you think?
Well, I've just said today, I don't have nothing with command. Well, I do. I got something, but it's what I got out of the stadium for working in there, and they give it to us as gifts. Yeah,
Trust me, I come home with a lot of those things. Not me, but before you say it, because they say me,
yes,
you're not supposed to get it.
all
Janine
the
gets
hell
it. So,
things.
okay.
And I got a scarf on. I got a hat. So I got a couple of things that was given to me. I have not brought anything with Commanders on it, and I was like,
"What about the jersey? What about the jersey you have on now?"
Oh no, that just says 5 and Daniels on the back. That's it.
Okay. It's like the little off thing, the t-shirt.
Yeah. I represent my quarterback. That's it.
I'm all about all of it.
Right now. I represent the whole team, but I'm just like, it took me a while to get used to all these name changes. And I was like, and then I didn't care for the W too much because of the football team that added on to it and all of that. And then we got to the Commanders. I was like, well, who chose that? Okay, that sounds military.
We already know who chose it.
I know
who chose it.
So then
y'all know who chose that, right?
Yeah, we know.
Somebody said it.
Yeah. Dan Snyder.
No.
No, who chose it?
It was Rivera.
Yeah.
Oh, Rivera?
Brad's not here. You can say Rivera.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I thought it was Dan Snyder all the time.
I did too.
No, it was Ron. It was Ron.
Okay, well, you even make me don't like him even more. Okay, but
I mean, he came from that military background, so that was yeah.
Yeah, so right now, I like what Shano has. It seems something's missing, but definitely don't put no stars up on it. Okay.
Yeah. I think everybody's in agreement as far as the stars got to go.
We are not gonna put that up.
I don't care if you put a Crest Moon next to it. That's good. It's got to go.
If you don't put this,
none of those stars need to go on there.
You can put
the players
the C.
be the stars to wear that helmet.
You can put a C if you want to or something. I'm just like everybody else, but I don't want no cupcakes. But I want a real name. But I'm just waiting.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good stuff. All right. So Josh, you're gonna take us out here. Take us out.
Look, I usually keep it short and sweet, but look, I know who chose that name. When he revealed that helmet, my heart sank. He was raving about
like,
how
what
clean
is
that
that?
W was, and I was like, that is the most plain, ugly thing I have ever seen in my life. I mean, you could have taken the old helmet and made it, and just put the yellow around the W, make it cleaner, man. Boring.
Yeah.
Now they have been hinting since Harris bought the team. I'll put the feather on the W.
That's what I said too. If you're going to,
Fine with me.
I've got that all over the house.
So I'm
Put the
saying,
feather on the W.
I say just keep the W. But
Yeah.
if you want to play around and just drop the feather off the back of the W or something.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but I don't think they need to do anything. I think that uniform coming back next year, it's fine. It's complete. Now let's play some football and win some games.
They're gonna put that yellow border around that W, and we're gonna be straight, just like the Super Bowl era jerseys. Look, the name ain't coming back. Y'all get over it. The logo was never in play, so maybe you'll get a throwback someday. But the spear is just fine. And then let's just move on. Let's just move on.
I could go on and on with people that I know that are literally.
Don't get me started.
I'm not going to be a fan anymore. And I'm like, well, were you ever a fan if you're going to turn on them like that fast? I mean,
you keep your stars in Dallas.
Yeah.
Right. Dallas.
And then, but then last year I saw a whole lot of people coming back up in that stadium when they were going to that NFC Championship game. And I'm like, where were you? I didn't see you all year. Where were you? So they lose this year. I told you I'm not going to be a fan. Just stay away. Okay.
Like, can I do a plug for your show real quick?
Absolutely. All day.
I want, you know how we talk seriously about the family attitude and atmosphere that we have, and it truly is. And just for people that are watching to understand that I'm in Bakersfield, California, Shawano's in Fresno, Oscar's in Turkey, but I want the rest of the family to know, because I got to give you your flowers, Oscar. Oscar knows that I like to fish. He's seen my fishing rods, and he sent me a set of Redskin logoed fishing hooks all the way from Turkey.
That's what I'm talking about.
All the way from Turkey. And so if you think that this is just fluff or for show,
all right,
what Lake has brought together here and what we're doing, and it's not to steal, because like I said, each and every one of you are really near and dear to me. You saw me driving. I was honestly coming back from a co-worker's funeral. His wife passed away, but I was trying to get back to make the show and everything because of what you guys on the other side with the work that I do, what y'all mean to me. It's really a decompression when you deal with what I deal with every day, all day, that I appreciate you guys. But I had to give Oscar his flowers because he asked me for my address and not knowing what was coming, but he sent the Redskin logoed fishing hooks.
We love you so much, man. I just took a picture of the first fish you catch with it. Okay.
you know what's real about this, and we say it all the time, but it really is true. Is that the fact that everyone's scattered all over the country, over the world, and the fact that we have a diverse group in here. We have Miss Sheila in here, female, and nobody in here thinks, "Oh, why she in here?" Miss Sheila hold it down,
right? That's our sister.
We have a young guy in here, and Brad. We got some
young,
not so old guys like me, but but we do. We have a really a mixture of. I don't ever go politics. I don't.
No need.
But this is what it's supposed to look like, and y'all know what I'm talking about when I say This is what it's supposed to look like. And it's also another thing, too, where you can have a differing opinions. God knows we disagree with Gerard sometimes. But you know what? Everybody respects what he says.
Right.
So it's nothing bad,
That's right.
And that's why I say I invite a lot of people to come on this show. And I did get several over the last 2 weeks since the ESPN thing happened. I've gotten a lot of requests to come on, and so I'm gonna do my due diligence this weekend to get back to a lot of people. So we're gonna have some new faces, and some of them are just NFL fans.
Sweet.
But the thing that they've all have said to me via email is, I watch this show all the time, and I love the camaraderie that you guys have. So they feel welcome to come on, and that's what we want. So anybody and everybody, you can come on here. You can talk about your favorite team. You just be prepared. You know, be prepared when you come on to back up what you feel, because you're gonna have to stick with it, because we're gonna chip away at it. You sure about that? You sure about that? So you guys. The other thing someone told me that they said that they love the fact that I say I love you guys, and they're like, because you're not supposed to say that in media.
Oh my
Again,
goodness.
I've never received any blue book or blueprint going all the way back to college, and that was over 30 years ago, that somebody told me that you're not supposed to say that. I've never seen it. I've never seen it in writing. I've never had a professor. I've never had anyone ever tell me that I wasn't supposed to do that. And if they did tell me that, I'm going to change it where you can say that, because that's just how I was raised, and that's what I believe in.
And Mr. Rogers did it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our group, and that's how we do this. So you are more than welcome to join us. Remember, all you have to do is email me at thelakeLewisJr.show@gmail.com. The other thing that I don't say that I need to say is make sure you subscribe to this, because I don't try to go out of my way to get people to support, but we like that, so make sure you subscribe to that. And I'm going to start trying to do my best to tag everyone on your social media. I don't really get down with Twitter too much anymore. I just don't. I know a lot of my colleagues live on there, but I'm an IG guy. I think that shows the real person. And, sometimes on Twitter, it's a lot of screaming and hollering on there, and it's a lot of politics, and I can't stomach it anymore. I just can't. So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys send me your, just DM me on Twitter, your handles. I know the Oscars and Josh's, and Gerard reaches out, but everybody else, Miss Sheila texts me all the time, but send me your handles on your IG so I can start plugging you when we post this. Because, the beauty of being on ESPN Radio now is it's promo city, and we got some stuff. So when you see the promo for this show from tonight, you see the actual, the image that's used. That image came from none other than a portion of it came from Oscar, who sent those. So that's what we do here, folks. It's real love here. So
so beautiful, and I'm so beautiful in that photo too.
Yes.
I did say to myself, who's the white female that's on there with us? So it's all good.
I took my bra off for the show.
I actually thought that Josh was a female when I first came on. I did.
I told you I'm pretty.
And it looked like he had Halle Berry on the thing too, but that's Sheila, and I said, yeah, Sheila does look like Halle Berry. Okay, so I get it.
It's just bad AI.
Okay, y'all. Okay.
So listen, we're gonna wrap it up, but appreciate you guys.
Can I add one thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since we talking about family, I also want to add to anyone that's listening. We also have a chat group.
Oh yeah,
that we talk on every day for hours.
And I'm not part of that.
But I'm saying I'm not part of that. Do not be a part of that.
Yeah,
it's just our family, and it could be 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I mean,
that's
all
why I'm
day
not part of that.
long. We talk and we communicate mostly about the Commanders, but we talk about family. We talk about everything. It's truly a family. Yeah. And Lake did get this group together, but we carry it on ourselves. Because Lake is a very busy man and whatnot. But I just want the world to know we do this every day. I talk to these guys more than what I talk to my family sometimes now.
Wow.
So I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
And I hope I didn't get you in trouble last week, Gerard, because I know your son's birthday was last week.
Oh no, we good.
Like, nah, I'm coming on the show.
Yes, exactly.
Like, don't have your son say, man, I don't like Lake Lewis, man.
Oh no, he loves it.
My
he
dad
listens to the show 24/7. I plan on having him on here one day.
Okay, anytime.
Yes.
All right. Well, just real quick before we get off, just nothing long, but just quickly just say where you are, because I want the people who are watching this to be able to know when I say we're scattered around here. I'm at ESPN Radio right now in the studios in Richmond. And when I'm in other towns, I'm going to be on ESPN Radio in those towns, but I'm in Richmond right now. Oscar, you are you can say it.
I'm in Istanbul, Turkey, and I work for a sports channel called S Sports. I'm an NFL commentator over there, but big fan of Lake Louis, obviously, and our family, obviously.
Appreciate you, man. And Josh, you are?
Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, baby.
Where it's frigid. I'll never forget how cold I was when we played the Vikings. I was indoors. I was cold. All right. And Miss Sheila, you are where?
Rosedale, Maryland.
All right. Mr. Gerard, you are?
Williamsburg, Virginia.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Brad?
Houston, Texas.
All right. Ellison?
Ashland, Virginia.
All right. Shauno?
Fresno, California, fan since 1983.
All right. Rev?
Bakersfield, California, fan since 1972.
All right. Big Bud?
Lynchburg, Virginia, fan since 1973.
All right. I think I might be getting on the ESPN down there where you are, Big Bud. So we're gonna it's all getting syndicated. So let's go.
Okay.
All right. So Willis?
I am in Mesa, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. Fan since 1974.
All right. And then Mike B.
Dumfries. One of the places where we thought the stadium was going to be. Dumfries, Virginia.
Thank God it wasn't.
I know.
Because it's already a parking lot. You talking about you might as well have campers on the highway.
and no airport in sight.
Oh my gosh. Yes,
Shuttling people in
Glad
from Dulles.
Bad for you, but good for me, So yes, all right. So yeah, just wanted everybody to see that we practice what we preach here. We really are family, and we really are scattered all over the globe. And we're going to keep building this thing up. This is your show. I always tell people I may facilitate it, but this is your show. This is a show truly for fans to be able to come on and talk and have a good time and, vent when they need to, but also praise when they have to. So appreciate you guys as always. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back here same time, same place next week.
Seattle.
Enjoy the
Seattle.
Super Bowl.
Seattle.
All right.
Seattle.
I told y'all. Seattle.